Well, all right, y'all. As promised from San Francisco, the Rondé Barber Show, Rondé Barber, of course, JB Bueno, and the thousands of people that are here in Radio Row, we welcome you to the big game.
We are here on location.
From Radio Row in San Francisco, California, this is the Rondé Barber Show, sponsored by Advent Health. Here's your host, JB Bueno, and Hall of Famer Rondé Barber.
Well, we are a few days away, but look, we're in the mix, dude.
We are here.
How about this place? I mean, you've been here before. I've been here before. This is the first time that I've been here on my own accord. For the Rondé Barber Show. This is actually pretty cool for me.
It's really cool. Rondé's been walking the floor here. We are at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, California, all week long for the big game between, of course, the New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks. And Rondé's been walking the floor, and he's taking selfies.
I'm not doing that.
You got your VIP pass that we got for the day.
I do good. There's a long story behind this VIP badge, but we're not going to tell that.
No, I want to tell it real quick. Can I tell it real quick?
Yeah, let's hear this.
I thought that he just could walk in with his gold jacket. I thought he could walk in with his gold jacket and he didn't need a credential, so I didn't get him a credential.
Gold jacket's here, by the way. It's just not here physically. Oh, my goodness. You know what? We got it worked out, JB.
We did. You have your pass, and you can now walk wherever you want to go. You're going to go hang out with Goodell? Where are you going to go?
I am not going to do that. I'm going to go get lunch eventually. We're going to bring on some guests all week long on the Rondé Barber Show. But first, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl because it's the reason why we're here. Obviously, Bucs fans, we did not make it.
We didn't make it.
But we do have an important part of the Buccaneers here. And we're going to be talking to Jared Payton at some point here in the future about the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And, of course, that is Baker Mayfield for
our
us. Our nominee who was on the show last week. So we'll get to talk about Baker a little bit prior to the Super Bowl, which is, I think that all happens. I know it all happens on Thursday night, honors night. We'll get to find out that designee as well as the new incoming class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which is gonna
and we're gonna have some Hall of Fame chatter in a bit.
That's a little preview for what we're gonna talk about at the end of the show. But what do you want to talk about first? Super Bowl?
First of all, let's just take the wide shot and just describe, how cool it is to be here because you and I are so used to being in the Stream Center. We are here with hundreds, if not thousands, of members of the press, both national and international. We've had a lot of folks come over and talk with us here, and it's all for, of course, the biggest sporting event on planet Earth, and that is Super Bowl 60 coming up this Sunday on NBC. You'll be able to watch it, of course, on WFLA. We're, of course, upset that the Bucs aren't here, but that doesn't mean the Rondé Barber Show stops.
We had to come.
And we should also take a moment to really thank Advent Health, of course, for being a big part of the reason that we are here, the official hospital of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So being here on location, we'll be bringing you coverage all week long. Great interviews, great guests. But yes, Rondé, we've got to talk football, man.
Yeah.
We're here to talk football.
Talk about football. I think universally at this point, if you walked around and polled everybody in here, 95% of them are going to say Seattle is going to
win this game.
Going to roll New England now. Now, I don't necessarily believe that. I do believe they're the better team, but I have an affinity, I guess is the word, for Mike Vrabel. I just like the way he does business, man.
Don't you just get the feeling like he's a coach?
Yes.
Like in the word itself, coach. He is a coach, and
I think he gets the best out of his guys. He's gotten the best out of Drake May and made him an MVP type of candidate. But I look at this team and I couldn't tell you they're superstars. Right? I know of course they have players on it, good players on their team, but there's nobody that just jumps out at you and says, that's the guy that's going to win the game for you. And I think that's why people think that Seattle is such a favorite in this game because you can name like 5 of them on Seattle. Leonard Williams on defense. Yep. Nick Emanwari, who is a revelation as a safety. Devin Witherspoon, the corner. Right? They got so many. DeMarcus Lawrence, the edge rusher. They have so many names on defense. And on offense, you got JSN and Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker, and they just look like the better team.
Yeah. Now, as far as we'll talk about this more as the week goes on. As far as mainstream football fans, no one knows who Devin Witherspoon is. Okay.
Yeah.
You do. You study film on the man. Okay?
Devin Witherspoon is a 3-time. How many years has he been in the league? 3 3-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time All-Pro. Like,
and a big reason why this defense has probably, yes, you're right, 95% of everybody here on Radio Row picking the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, the Seahawks to win the game itself. I want to. There was some celebrity. I'm going to show the wide shot here every now and again because there was somebody just walking around with a massive entourage. I don't know who it was, but
I missed it.
I missed it too. Like a big.
I mean, obviously it wasn't me. I'm sitting here, JV.
Oh yeah, we got Chip Rooster on the camera. Maybe he'll scout for us and see exactly who it was. But yes, this is pretty cool. A 360-degree view.
Wow, I didn't know we had this ability, Chip.
Me neither.
That's great.
Off script.
Yes, I love it.
Shout out to Chip. And if we see anybody, we'll shout it out because we want you guys to feel like you are here. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, the video version, of course, is on the WFLA app.
Yep. On
your smart TV or on YouTube. But
it is one of the coolest things about being here on Radio Row is the fact that you're going to see somebody. You know, you can go around the corner and the setup for the Pat McAfee show is over there. Chris Sims and his setup is down in the corner over there. There's some really cool setups over here. Of course, we got our little backdrops for the Rondé Barber Show. We're small fry here in this huge.
Well, season 1, man.
Huge season 1.
You know what? By season 3, 4, 5, we'll have one of the
right. With huge booths over there.
Do you see the Bleacher Report set?
Yes.
Can we show the Bleacher Report set? Honestly, this is off script. We just want to show this to you. This is
pretty awesome.
They deserve a little bit of credit because theirs looks like it looks like a carnival.
Right.
I mean, it looks like they have games and arcades and skee ball. Okay, Rondé, check this out. You a skee ball player?
I can be a skee ball player.
I mean, this is really cool to be here, and we have a lot of football to talk. But just wanted to let you guys feel like you are here with us on Radio Row. It's a pretty unique experience, and we're just so grateful to all of our viewers, all of our listeners. Without you guys listening to the Rondé Barber Show, we would not be here. So in the comment section on YouTube, we read your comments. An enormous thank you to everything that you guys have done for us. We're here to give you guys content all week long. And with that, let's talk some football, Rondé. What do you got?
What do you want to know?
Who's going to win? No, we want to save that for later in the week. You want to give your look. I'll
give you a game prediction now. Right now, it's Seattle. Seattle's just so much better, I think, on paper. So without any other context, I have to say Seattle right now. But that being said, like, you play the game for a reason, and the reason I'm having a hard time with this is because both of these two teams play good defense. And I've been a guy over the years that's been like, oh, the best off. I remember my first time working in media was the 2013 season, 14 Super Bowl in New York, and it was Peyton Manning's vaunted offense, even though he wasn't quite as vaunted at that point, playing in the Super Bowl, and I was like, Peyton Manning wins, and of course he did not win.
Yeah,
it was like 48-6 or something.
Yeah,
he got nothing. Right,
anything can happen.
Yes,
and this doesn't feel like a blowout.
No,
I feel like it's been a really long time since we have had one of those signature games where it comes down to some serious fourth quarter drama.
Right.
I feel like we're due for that.
I would love that. I mean,
we're due for a great game.
We are 100% due for a game that doesn't suck.
Yep.
And I don't think this one's going to suck because both teams play good defense. Ironically, both quarterbacks come into this game injured, which could factor into this game. Sam Darnold's got, I think, an oblique injury, and Drake May has a yet to be disclosed, but everybody's kind of talking about shoulder injury, which may or may not be the reason he hasn't played as well in the playoffs as he did during the regular season. So there's those factors. But despite all of that, right, both of these teams find themselves in the Super Bowl, and I think one of their roads was easier than the other.
I think that's been established.
We've established that on our perspective from covering football all year long. New England really hasn't played a daunting opponent yet. You know, and
is Seattle going to be basically the best opponent they play all year?
Yeah, you know what? I would have said it was Denver 2 weeks ago, if not for
Mother Nature,
Bo Nix being out,
and then Mother Nature coming into play.
Mother Nature too. But no, the Jerem Stidham having to start that game they really had no chance, even though the game was close. But I think the game was only close because Mother Nature played such an important role in it. So I think just in terms of, if you will, like the smell test, the teams that you had to play to get here, Seattle definitely has the harder road. 3 NFC West teams made the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Seattle
the
played.
Class of the league.
Yes, Seattle played 2 of those teams in the last 3 weeks of the season. San Francisco being one of them, and then had to play 2 more NFC West teams in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. So they've gone the hard way.
Now, explain to me, remembering back obviously to the Super Bowl that the Buccaneers won, the peak, obviously, right, of that era of Buccaneers football. What is different about playing in the Super Bowl that most people don't understand? If you're the Seahawks, a lot of first-timers obviously here. You're the Patriots, a lot of first-timers on that roster, coming into San Francisco. So how is it different? Yeah,
I think so. To that point, I think I read this somewhere, that there's only one player on each team, and I can't remember who they are.
Right.
One player that had played in a Super Bowl. So what you don't know is that there's a ton of this spectacle and hype and everything that makes your routine during the regular season seem so routine. Throw it out the window. Yeah. Like, it's just your practice schedule. You got to load on 6 buses out front of the hotel every morning just to get out and go to practice. You're never really sequestered. You're always got people around you, right? There's always something going on, media, yada, yada, yada. I remember when I went to my Super Bowl, I got there, and on Tuesday of Super Bowl week, so this day, I had to go down to Qualcomm down in San Diego, and it was actually pretty cool. I got to meet Sting and Gwen Stefani.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, I'm kind of a big deal right now.
I've made it.
Right.
I've made it.
But what other Tuesday during the regular season am I going to, like, the stadium to hang out with, a performer that's going to be there? So, like, there's those type of things that you can't account for. I mean, your PR people can prep you for it and tell you, what your schedule is going to look like. But then you actually have to do it. And then in the back of your mind, you're like, dude, I'm getting ready to play at the biggest game of my life.
Yeah.
I'm still got to prepare for that. So there's that. And then once the game starts, dude, like, I happen to be fortunate enough for the second year in a row to host the Super Bowl. So I'll be on the field entertaining, if you will, and hosting the stadium audience. And
Rondé Barber things.
Rondé Barber things with Colleen Wolfe and Cynthia Freeland and AJ Costa Ruiz. So it's a fun thing for me. But I look at my itinerary for what's going on during the game. So from pregame to warm-ups to halftime show to all the elements that are involved in a Super Bowl production, and it has nothing to do with players or the game or anything. This is just all the hoopla and the whatnot surrounding the biggest game in football.
Let's show where we are once again.
So there's just a lot more going on.
Look at our beautiful set here as part of Next Star Nation.
Yes.
I mean, and this is quiet for Radio Row.
Yeah, it's very quiet, right?
Wait until Friday.
Yes.
Friday is going to be madness here.
Right.
So a lot to talk about here on the Rondé Barber Show all week long. As you have evaluated these teams, I'm sure that there are little nuggets of things that stick out in your brain, particularly about how we've been talking about it, both on this show, in the lead up to being here in San Francisco, in addition to off camera. You're really impressed by what Seattle does on the defensive side of the ball.
I'm extremely impressed. They are not complicated. They're not. I mean, we've talked all year long about how complicated the Bucs defense is. This is like the opposite. They're simple. They're like, they run 4 or 5 coverages. They have some pressures in there, but they don't need them. They rely on their front 4 to create pressure. They have 2 really good edge players in Dexter Lawrence and Uchenna Nwosu. And they have probably one of the best interior D tackles in football in Leonard Williams. So, like, it starts there, right? And when you have that, kind of like we did. We had Warren Sapp and,
Are there any parallels between the Seattle Seahawks defense of this year and the defense, of course?
Yes, that they can win up front without having to put a lot of pressure, without having to send extra bodies. It allows you to play coverage. It allows you to kind of do simple things really well. And then you look at who they have in the secondary, and they have the aforementioned Devin Weatherspoon, 3-time Pro Bowler, by the way, for all of y'all that don't know who the hell he is. He's drafted 3 years ago. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. And this rookie that they just drafted, Nick Emanwori, who does everything. They line up in nickel defense every single snap unless they're playing dime. So they bring in a 6th defensive back. But he plays in base. He plays on the line of scrimmage like an outside linebacker. He run defends like a 4-3 will linebacker, i.e. Derek Brooks. And he can play safety. He can play corner. He does everything for him. So just the way that they vary their defense by only using one player to do it is impressive. So like a lot of teams, Baltimore Ravens, the Los Angeles Chargers with Derwin James, Baltimore Ravens with Kyle Hamilton, have this type of player. Nick Emanwori is the same type of player that allows you to do so many different things on defense. So I'm just impressed that they have the bodies to do what they've done. And Mike McDonald's a great defensive-minded coach, and he's got these guys playing fast and hard, man. It's fun to watch them on film.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, of course, as we bring guests on the show this week. And, of course, stick around because we're going to have a show each and every day this week leading up to the big game itself. We're going to have guests right here at our set as part of Next Star Nation here on Radio Row at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. But we have something big to talk about because we got some massive news that landed in our lap this morning that Rondé and I both completely and utterly shocked by. The Rondé Barber Show will be back right after this.
From the big game, this is the Rondé Barber Show, brought to you by Advent Health, the exclusive hospital of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Welcome back to the Moscone Center in San Francisco, California. Radio Row as part of the big game. It's great to be here with the Hall of Famer, the legend himself, Rondé Barber. No gag, by the way. No making fun of me here.
I could come up with one. And the guy that thinks that his face will get him into Radio Row.
I'm getting roasted. You hear this, Rhett? I'm getting roasted even when the announcer guy doesn't pre-record the lines.
That was a pretty good announcer guy voice for me.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Rondé Barber, JV Buno here with you on Radio Row. And my goodness, it's the news that has created buzz here. We thought that the Hall of Fame drama was over.
Only just
It
begun.
is not. This is our big question segment. We're going to have the big question all week long on the Rondé Barber Show. And our big question this week, or on this episode rather, how on earth are Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft not making it into the club that you are a part of, the Hall of Fame?
If it's reportedly true that neither Bill, which we've kind of confirmed at this point, and Robert Kraft aren't in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, that tells you a couple of things. There's going to be some senior candidate inductees.
Right.
Those
people that were going to fall off the ballot.
Those that not fall off the ballot. They're in this abyss, if you will, of post. So you get those 20 years to be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 5 years after you're retired. Once those 25 years lapse, you go into this senior pool, which is literally an abyss. There is thousands of players in that fill that category. Last year, Sterling Sharp came out of that class, right? This year, L.C. Greenwood, Ken Andersen, and Roger Craig were 3 of the 5 of that other group. And so it used to be the senior class without having the contributors and coaches. This year, they are together. So the coaches, contributors, and that senior class of players all come together in one bucket. 5 of them get to be finalists. I just named 3. The other 2 were, of course, Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. And you get to vote for 3 of them. If one of them, if not enough guys hit the appropriate number of votes, the guy that got the most amount of votes gets in. Just that one player. If more than one get more than the 40 necessary votes, then the 2 highest get in, or the next highest get in. So what we're hearing now, if Robert Kraft is not also in, then it means that neither him nor Bill Belichick got the appropriate amount of votes, 40 votes needed to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which is then telling you that those voters likely voted for one of either Ken Andersen, L.C. Greenwood, or Roger Craig. So right now, one of those players is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. At least one of those players is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yep. Maybe two. So we'll see. It's
the uproar,
to be determined. It's going to be an uproar. It's going to be even more so.
Because, and also, too, we were talking about this last week in the Stream Center on the Rondé Barber Show.
Yeah, that was my take. Yeah.
Right, that they weren't going to go in together for obvious reasons.
And that
right?
likely Robert Kraft was in. Guess not.
So how shocked were you when you found out the news this morning?
If it's true.
You're being the more responsible journalist, by the way, and saying allegedly it has to be true.
If it's true, I'm pretty shocked that not one of them would get in, because their history, their record speaks for itself. I gave you my reasons last week why I thought Bill Belichick didn't get past this realm of, or this voting this time, because maybe he's still coaching. This first year of them allowing first year out coaches to be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Usually it's 5 years, and the fact that only 3, I believe, first time eligible head coaches have ever gotten into the Hall of Fame. So there's a lot of circumstance around that.
There's certainly, you can feel the heat coming out of New England at a very cold time of year. Yeah. You feel this anti-Patriots bias all of a sudden, and it makes it all the more dramatic, considering that we're talking about the Patriots being in the Super Bowl
now,
against the Seahawks.
I will say this: a lot of people are going to say that it's petty and it's things working against Deflategate. I don't think it's any of that, to be honest with you. I think the voting system that the Pro Football Hall of Fame has adapted put voters on the spot. They had to make a decision. They had to make a decision whether to let these senior guys that are in this abyss really go by the wayside. Because once you come up once to be a finalist, if you don't make it, it's very, very, very short odds that you get back in there again. And I think they put up voters in an awkward position to have to leave off Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. And unfortunately, if it's true, then one of the greatest owners of all time, certainly the greatest coach of all time, aren't going into Hall of Fame this year. But they all both Hall of Famers. They'll be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, so I have to ask you, as a Hall of Famer, though, given the publicity that has come out of this, is this, in your opinion, a stain on the Hall of Fame from a public PR standpoint?
No, I mean, look, there is a ton of Hall of Famers, very worthy Hall of Famers, including yours truly, who had to wait. I waited 6 years. I was a semifinalist for 3 years, and then
is it part of the process?
And then I was a finalist for 3 more years. If you're staining anything, if you're even talking about staining anything, it's the process, right? It's just a hard process, and it's supposed to be difficult. The Hall of Fame wants it to be exclusive, an exclusive club, and hard to get into, difficult to get into. There was a time when people talked about diluting the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There is no diluting the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you're in the conversation, you're likely a Hall of Famer. Right? Just the fact of how long it takes you to get in is going to be different for certain people. And if you're a Bills fan, if you're a Bill Belichick crony, if you will, if you're a Robert Kraft, a lover of Robert Kraft, this is just not their year. But they will be Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Makes Radio Row all the more chit-chatty. I think that's a great way of putting it.
Just wait till after Thursday when it's official.
Well, the Rondé Barber Show, all right? We are on location at the Moscone Center all week long with half-hour episodes on the daily. With this being the first one, we will have 5 episodes here from Radio Row. And my goodness, we're going to have guests being pulled in from all the various sections of San Francisco to talk Seahawks, Patriots, and we're going to talk the Buccaneers. We have to talk the Buccaneers.
And right we are.
And that's coming up on future editions of the Rondé Barber Show, sponsored by Advent Health, on location right here at the Moscone Center. Rondé, we made it safely. I look forward to content all week long with you. Everybody, this is once again another edition of
the Rondé Barber Show.